Okay, hello and welcome back to the Novice Lumberjack, where you just watched the results of the 4Q races at Grant and Eric's this past Saturday, I think. Yeah. Again, great time. Had a blast there. Some really good saws. Congratulations to Morgan, who got first place running 365 Special or 365 XP. I'm not 100% sure on which it is. Probably a Special. But anyways, and Grant was second place with his 562 XP. That is a Mark 1. And then Ethan Trainer with his Poland Pro. It's either a 415 or 425. I think I put in there 425. Same saw, just a little bit of different differences on the intake. So anyways, congratulations to those three. They were the first, second, and third place in this category. All right, so what you saw there with Kenny and myself, I did that for a reason. We're learning here. That is my MS 360 steel, built by Morgan McGinnis, Appalachian Saw Works. I'm going to fuck that up. I know Appalachian Work Saws, Appalachian Saw Works. I can't remember. I'll link him. Anyways, he built that saw for me, and I first ran it and said, wow, it feels great. And then I get back home and I put it in some real world usage, and I was like, I don't know, something's going on. Something's going on. I contacted him about it, and he said, well, just send it back, And so I sent it back to him, and he put in a new piston and ring because it was losing a little bit of compression whenever it got warm, and so he put in a new piston and ring, and it's still not there. And both of us were trying to figure it out. I think that it's a carburetor issue because the carburetor has always been really odd to tune. It'll tune in and it'll hold a tune, but it's weird. I don't know how else to put it. It's weird. And then on top of it, so this is an MS 360, which means they got, I believe it's a Walbro carb, and the steel 036 had a Tillotson carburetor on it. And I think I've heard that the Tillotson is a much better carburetor, especially if you're going to actually do port work and go a step further with the chainsaw. So anyways, this is for learning purposes. The reason I chose Kenny there, right? I mean, it wouldn't be quite right if I put this steel 360, which I believe is 59 cc's, up against one of the 65 cc saws that were really ripping, but that saw that Kenny is running, I think it's a 357 XP. It could be a 359 with a 357 cylinder on it. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but it's either a 359 or a 357 XP, in which case is a perfectly good comparison between that saw and the steel MS 360 that I was running. And very clearly, there's something wrong with that MS 360. And me and Morgan are working together trying to figure it out what it is. It's got good compression. The port numbers are good on it and everything. And as you can see, Morgan took first place in this class. He can do a good job porting a chainsaw. So that's not, in my mind, that's just not even in question whatsoever. Not even the smallest amount. So I think there's something wrong with the saw, and we're trying to figure out what that is. And this is part of it. This is the first time he's ever ported MS 360 or 036, whatever. And we're just trying to figure it out. And I figured, well, I ran it at the race because he brought it to the race and was like, I don't know, see what you think, kind of thing, And he's like, maybe I'll take it back with me and do some more, whatever. And I ran it, and clearly it's I'll just say it, fucking shocking how little power it has. And we may have to start from scratch and get a new cylinder. And I am game for that. Whatever it takes, Morgan and myself, we will come up with this and get that thing to run right, because I do know that it's not the saw, like as in like they're inherently incapable of producing power. Not the case, because I've ran Smitty's. Smitty has an 036, and it was ported by Charlie Briscoe, and that thing, it's one of the best 60cc saws I've ever laid hands on. It runs so well. So whatever is going on with that saw, we'll figure it out, between the two of us, me and Morgan, and everybody else that pitches in and helps. Like the carburetor tip, I got that from Matt House. He's like, I've heard that the Tillotson carburetors are a lot better. So currently where we are at, Morgan has that chainsaw, and I have ordered a Tillotson 036 set up for it. Another thing that I forgot to order, I haven't heard anything from Morgan about it since he mentioned that it is faster without the air filter. It's got one of the old flocked filters, and it's really flocked. So it could be just as simple as, putting a new carburetor on it and making sure it has a good filter set up. But whatever it is, we're going to figure it out. And because, that thing should be performing at a similar level to what that 357 XP that Kenny is running is performing at. And you can see it and hear it. It's just not there. It's just not there. And it's so weak. That's why I had a mistake whenever I was using it. I'm pulling up, I learned that I could barely push. I could barely do anything. And so I'm pushing a little bit, and I have to back off. And then whenever I do the pull up, I'm just barely doing it. It just doesn't have the balls. It just doesn't have it. And so I'm pulling up so little that whenever I finally cut through, it's just like, and I just cut through. Whereas normally I'm pulling so hard that I'm like, and I pull way out of the wood, right? Well, in this case, normally, here's the block of wood. Normally I'm pulling up so hard, I'm come way up, and then I can come back down. Well, in this one, I pulled so little that it went, and then I started cutting, and I wasn't doing a full cookie. So, yeah, something's wrong, and we're trying to figure out what it is. But we'll figure it out. Like, I was talking with Morgan about it, and it's like, that's the way it goes sometimes. I mean, I can remember, now this is way back. This is way back. And I ported a Husqvarna 257. And Pat was, he likes the 257 a lot, and the 262 XP, I think the 261. He likes that chassis, and he's like, oh, you can get real good power. You can get real good power. And well, I ported it, and it was a piece of shit. I was just like, this thing's trash. I hate this. I hate this platform. That's the way it happens. Sometimes you got to stick with it, try different things. But I got to say, I mean, me and Morgan talked it over, and the numbers that he worked with, and I've seen his work. He does good work, and it's like there's no reason that saw should be running like this. So we've both got high hopes that throwing a Tillotson carburetor on there is really going to just fix it, and it's going to run like a whole different beast. But if not, maybe it's got a weak spark. There's something going on though, and we're in the midst of trying to figure it out. Again, congratulations to Morgan, first place, Grant, second place, and Ethan, third place in this 4-cube class. And up next will be the 5-cube.